Hello everyone again, it's Scooby, and I was looking at King Arthur, Silver Star Trucker's latest upload about UFOs, and I've always been fascinated by this. Now, it's not a UFO, but I've seen this plane twice, and let me explain. Excuse me. When I was in Betsy Coed a few years ago with Kathy, my ex partner, we was in Betsy Coed at the railway station, and I know quite a lot about planes because my father is an aircraft enthusiast. So basically I was dragged up going on 3 holidays a year abroad just so my father could fly on a plane. So I know all the names of the different planes, the Boeing 747s, 737s, TriStars, DC-10s, 111s, Tridents. Viscount was the first plane I ever flew onto the Isle of Man, Cambrian Airways. So I know all the names of the planes. It's not an interest I've got because I haven't really got an interest in aircraft. But when, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. When we were in Betsy Coed, about 8 years ago, I looped up, and about another at least 20 people looped up from the railway station area where the field is. Just on the outskirts of the railway station there's a field where the shops are, where you can walk your dogs and things, and this Hercules aircraft, and the Americans call it a C-130, it just, well, put it this way, it was a sunny day and the sky just darkened, and this plane flew over, no engine sounds or anything, it was as quiet as anything, and it was as, oh God, I mean, I've seen planes from the army where they've had the camouflage paint. This plane was absolutely covered in what I could say was shite. It was, I wouldn't say it was rusty because I know planes don't rust, but this plane was just disgustingly, it looked like there was rust on the plane. There was no markings on the plane, there was no identification numbers or anything, there was no English English identification signs on it or anything. It was just a horrible, as if it had been in a scrapyard and someone had just started the engines and flown over North Wales. Anyway, I was asking loads of people at the time, and Kathy saw it, Sam saw it, my son, and everybody just could not explain. The thing what really got to me was how low the plane was. It was clipping the top of the trees and it just disappeared. So I've heard, I mean, this is the website, this is the North East Wales News website, and this story's been on for years. It's about the Phantom plane. There's loads of people in Abergele in 1987 have seen the plane. There was some girls, some women picking the kids up from school, and this plane flew over, and there was no sound from it, and it was that low. It scared everybody to death. Now, the other incident I saw of this plane was, God, I've had a lot of vans I've always had vans, and I've always had a car. Vans were to do with my business, and I was coming back from Porthmadog one day. I'd been fitting some wardrobes in somebody's house in Porthmadog, near Harbour Station, the Festiniog Railway, and I was coming back from Porthmadog down the the A494 for some reason, because I don't usually come that way. Anyway, I was coming down the 494, and yeah, these are why I talk about it. These are just some of the experiences people have reported. And as I was coming from the 494, it was an ex-Network Rail transit van. It was like a camper van. It was a lovely van, and I was driving just before dusk, and in front of me, in the trees, suddenly this plane again, this rusty. There's one person there, look, which they described as rusty with no paintwork, rode over my head. And this plane just again appeared above my head in the distance. Appeared above my head in the distance, but basically it was that big. It just filled the sky. And I watched to my left as I looked through the passenger window. Nearly crashed my van. And it was flying really low in between the valleys of Wales. And it just seemed to turn right at an alarming angle and just disappeared. Now, I didn't see it disappear, but as I was looking at the road and looking at the plane, the time it took me from looking away from the plane and then looking back at the plane, it had disappeared, just totally disappeared. And to this day, I just cannot understand. I just cannot understand where this plane come from, because there was no sound or anything. And I've been to a few air shows at Southport, and now if a plane flies overhead, you even if you're in a car, you can hear the sound of the engines. And on a Hercules, there's 4 engines, and apparently the reports to RAF, what's it called now? Anglesey. Oh no, where Prince Harry or William is? Oh no, what's that? What's it called? Anglesey. Oh yeah, RAF Valley, Anglesey. The police spoke to them and asked, was there any activity in the skies for low flying on these dates? And there was nothing. And they even said they haven't had a C-130, also known as a Hercules, in that airport or landing at that airport for years and years. And they've also heard about the ghost plane of North Wales. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a real plane, but I've seen loads of planes going into Liverpool Airport, John Lennon Airport, Hercules aircraft practicing landing and taking off again. And this one, the 2 I saw on the 2 separate occasions, there was just nothing like it. There was no markings. They just looked as though they'd been dragged from a scrapyard. And the main thing was, they were quiet. There was no engine sounds or anything. So anyway, if any of you know anything about this, I think Eggnog Mark, I think you recorded a C-130, a Hercules, flying over North Wales, over the coast, in one of your videos. So I just basically would like to know if anybody else has got any stories about the ghost plane of North Wales. People must have heard about it, because it's quite a famous story, and there's that many people reporting it that there must be something in it. So if you let me know by a response video, or just leave comments down below, because this plane, like I say, I've seen it twice, and it's weird because there's no engine sound, and for 4 engines to be flying God knows how low, you would just hear the sounds of the engines. And the amount of people in Betsy Coed, or as they say, Battersea Coed, there was nobody could explain what was going on. The people were just gobsmacked by this plane. And this is the, like I said, this is the plane here. It's a C-130, or as we call them, a Hercules. Now there is one that goes into Liverpool John Lennon Airport on a regular basis, practicing. What it does, it touches down and takes off straight away. I've not seen it for a few months now, but when I made inquiries, it didn't go over North Wales. So if anybody knows anything, let me know, because I want to know about it. Okay, bye.